What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 134, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode will be my running back tiers, top 34, heading into week 10 here, guys. Before we dive into it, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you hit that subscription. Turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton. I will be live Thursday to Monday this week. There's no birthday this weekend. I'll be here the whole weekend going live. If you guys cannot make any of the live streams, as always, drop any comments you want down below. One of my goals is to try to answer every single one of them to help you get that weekly win and get you that ultimate goal of a championship, guys. And if you want to check out my quarterback and defense rankings and the waiver wires tonight, so you might want to check out the defense kicker rankings ahead. That might help you out. You guys can check those out. And then I will have my wide receivers, tight ends done tonight, hopefully. And then tomorrow will be my stardom sit-em, guys. And let's dive into my running backs for week 10. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my running back board for week 10 here. At the top, you will see the ballers tier, the must-start running backs tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. We're going to crank out 34 running backs here. And remember, guys, 4 teams are on a bye here. So the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, Packers, Josh Jacobs, Browns, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, and the Raiders, Alexander Madison, if that even matters. Make sure they are out of your lineups, guys. At the bottom here, you'll just see running backs that have fallen off from last week. And then you'll see Pacheco here, who should be back week 12 or week 13. Now, heading into my tier 1, the man, the myth, the king, the legend, Derrick Henry. This man is just unbelievable at fantasy football in general. 30 years old, doesn't matter. Still dominating the entire NFL. Probably going to rush for 20 touchdowns this year. Should have been the number 1 pick in fantasy football. And you get the Thursday night 52.5 over game. Now, when you're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, they do rank 9th versus the running back, giving it 20.3. They rank 15th in the red zone, giving up 6.3 and 93.8 yards to the running back position, which is about, 12 to 15 range there. So top 15 in that area. But when you're going up against the RPO of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, it really doesn't matter what defensive scheme that you think even matters. I mean, this is just a nightmare for every team to stop. And they're averaging almost a 1 touchdown a game. So you can almost book in a Derrick Henry touchdown here. Heading over to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, the running back I had ranked number 2 before the season started, and he's probably going to finish either 1 and 2. Saquon Barkley, did you see that move he made last week? It was unbelievable. Spin move, dip the leg, drop step, fucking hit move. Sorry for the cuss word there. Then he jumps over behind him. I was like, dude, this is why I love Saquon Barkley. It's unbelievable. Now you get the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys defense may get Micah Parsons back. They may get Deron Bland back here as well. But the Cowboys season looks over, man. So Dak Prescott probably headed to IR. CeeDee Lamb banged up. May play this week, may not play. How much will they move the ball? Probably not a lot. Gives more opportunity to the Eagles here. The Cowboys ranked 29th versus the running back, giving up 27.3. They ranked 28th in the red zone, giving up 8.7. They give up 108.8 yards on the ground, which is bottom 10 in the NFL. And they allow 1.2 touchdowns a game. So you can almost book a Saquon touchdown no matter what, unless Jalen Hurts is going to push it away here. But my God, Saquon Barkley looks so good. It's crazy. Number 3, Kareem Williams. Now, this is the matchup you want. Monday, well, I'll do them both here because they're side by side. Monday Night Football. So the Rams are taking on the Dolphins. So the Rams get the Dolphins run D, which ranks 24th. They give up 25.4. They rank 27th in the red zone, giving up 8.3. So high touchdown upside for Kareem Williams. 1.2 rushing touchdowns a game. So you can almost book one for Kareem Williams. And 103.8 rush yards allowed. And now with Puka and cutback, it's like the defense just can't focus on Kareem. Like he was backpacking this team the whole year when they were out. Now the opportunities are going to be more. They're getting a couple linemen back. Like Noteboom came back last week as well. That should start to help out. Their offensive line has been decimated with injuries all year, and McVay's been coaching a gem with a beat-up team. Now, on to the Dolphins side here. The Los Angeles Rams rank 16th. They give up 22.6 points to the running back. They stingy up in the red zone. They rank 11th in the red zone, giving up 4.5. So about a top 14, 15 defense on average versus the running back. 112.3 yards allowed to the position, which is bottom 10. And you get a possibility of a touchdown at a 0.8% chance. So almost a touchdown a game they give up. And dude, the hurricane season, I try to tell you guys, this is my guy. It's been my guy since he came out, and he's never going to stop. The schedule is too good, and the play calling from Mike McDaniels is absolutely glorious. Running back number 5. We're finally out of the Tyler Algier split, although he got a touchdown last week. I know, hurt Bijan owners. But just look at the touches. I mean, 19, 13, 21, 7 catches, 20, 20, 26. They finally figured out the stud that they have. They're finally using him as a workhorse back. You're finally getting that CMC update from the beginning of the year where they're like, we're going to use him like CMC. And then all of a sudden you saw this split going on. And man, he gets the New Orleans Saints, guys. The New Orleans Saints versus the running back right now. They currently give up 25.5 points per game. That ranks 26th. They rank 22nd in the red zone, giving up 7.7 points to running backs, 106.4 yards on the ground, which is like middle of the pack there, and 1.1 touchdowns a game. So you can almost book a Bijan touchdown here. And you're going against the Saints now, who probably don't have Olave. Their wide receiver core is decimated. They traded away their best defensive player. I mean, you're probably going to see Chase Young maybe moved here. We got about 10 minutes into the waiver or into the trade deadline here. The Saints are done. They're going to get destroyed in this game. They're going to get ran over, and Bijan's going to absolutely explode. Number 6, back in the baller tier, Bree Hall. So if you have a trade deadline next week or whatever it is, I'm going to give you a little insight right here. Go acquire this guy right now because look at the schedule coming ahead. He gets Arizona this week. We'll talk about Arizona first here. So the Arizona Cardinals run D right now, currently on the season, they give up 25.4 points per game. That ranks 25th. They rank 16th in the red zone. They get a little better there. 111.3 yards per game on the ground, which is bottom 10. And they give up a 0.8 chance for a touchdown a game. And now you have Davante Adams clicking. Now you have Garrett Wilson clicking. Now you have Aaron Rodgers finding a little groove. They got the win they needed. And dude, the schedule ahead. Indianapolis Colts, then a bye. Then Seattle, Miami, Jacksonville, Rams, Buffalo, Miami. Those are all bottom tier run defenses, guys. Bree Hall is about to explode. Heading down to tier 1 here. I'm glad to see my guy's face back on the list. Christian McCaffrey. Now, I don't know if he's going to be out there. We don't know anything yet. It says that he may play week 10 or he's ready to go week 10. They open the practice window on Monday. So things are looking up there finally. And if he gets a full workload here, which I don't think he will, I think you'll see a little Jordan Mason or a little Garendo in his first game back. I mean, you got to temper your expectations. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, look what Kareem Hunt just did to him last night. They give up 26.5 points per game to the running back. That's 28th. That's 4th worst. They're 4th worst in the red zone. They give up 96.7 yards per game on the ground, which is about middle of the pack there. And they allow a 0.6 touchdown chance. But this is Christian McCaffrey. This is Shanahan's offense. And if Christian McCaffrey is back out there, guys, you're starting this guy no matter what, if you waited this long, right? Or if you traded for him, like I said, too, when you should buy low at the time. He's going to get a touchdown in his first game back. You just know this. You just know the 49er faithful are going to go nuts. Shanahan's going to scheme up something. This Buccaneer defense is not great at stopping the run. And I'm going to put him at running back 7 in his first game back, which is absolutely crazy. I know you could say it's my Niner bias, whatever, but this man's a fantasy god when he's out there healthy. Number 8, Jonathan Taylor, coming off a really, really rough week last week, and you could tell they're not going to be able to pass the ball against the Buffalo Bills, who they're playing in Week 10. This is the Bills' strength is the pass game. Their weakness is the run game. They rank 31st, second last versus the running back, 29.2. I expect the Indianapolis Colts, even with old man Joe Flacco, who's a statue and can't move, to feed Jonathan Taylor like a machine in this game if they want to keep their season hopes alive. They rank 24th in the red zone, giving up 7.9, 99.2 yards, which is middle of the pack there, and a 0.7 touchdown a game to the running back. But the Colts have a great offensive line. The Colts, you could say Downs and Pittman, they got weapons out there, but the Bills have great corners as well to go along with it. So, I mean, that's going to be a nightmare matchup for the wide receivers. And I want 20-plus touches here if I'm the Colts. You have to be smart. You have to feed your superstar, and he needs to get it going against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. And I'm going to put him at 8, even though it was really ugly last week versus the Vikings. Number 9 is going to be Joe Mixon and the Houston Texans, and they're going to get the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions is a tough matchup, but to me, when Joe Mixon's out there healthy, it doesn't matter. This guy's, if he sees 20 touches, he's probably going to get double-digit fantasy points no matter what. So the Detroit Lions, they rank 5th versus the running back. They give up 18.9. They rank 6th in the red zone, giving up 3.6. And they give up 79.2 yards, which is literally second or third in the NFL in yards per game allowed rushing, and a 0.8 chance for a touchdown. Now, if they get Nico Collins back, that will help. But if they don't get Nico Collins back, that probably helps too. He probably gets more touches. So Joe Mixon always going to be in my top 10 running backs, no matter what the situation with how he's playing right now. Number 10, and this one's tough for me, Alvin Kamara. So I know he got his extension. I know he's the only guy the New Orleans Saints have. They're going to get the Falcons in a game where they probably get blown out. So how is game script really going to look here, right? So the Falcons rank 14th versus the running back, giving a 22.1. They rank 19th in the red zone, so about a top 15 to 16 defense all the way around. 92.6 yards allowed, which is about 12th to 13th in the NFL. And they give up a chance of a 0.2 touchdown, which is very, very low per game. And they're one of the best red zone defenses. They just give up tons of yards, and then they get Bates and Simmons, and they get Terrell, and they play a psycho package in the red zone. It's just they're very tough to score on in the red zone. So with everyone out, this is like should be a feed the whole way Alvin Kamara game. But how much do I trust it? How much do I trust the Saints to stay in the game? That's the only reason I have Alvin Kamara like lower than normal, because the Saints are done, man. Number 11, and we're going to talk about them both, David Montgomery and my guy Jahmyr Gibbs. Man, I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs just be the guy one time. Just let him loose one time. So they get the Houston Texans, right? So the Sunday Night Football, big matchup here, 7-1, 6-3, right? And they're coming off a bad loss. And now they get the Lions aren't coming off a loss, the Texans are. But they get the Houston Texans, who rank 4th versus the running back. They give up 17.5, very good. 13th in the red zone, so they're about a top 7 to 8 D all the way around from red zone to running back. 82.9 yards allowed, which is top 10. And they only give up a chance of a 0.4 touchdown. But you're going up against the number 1 offensive line. You're going up against probably the best 2 tandem running back powerhouse, Sonic and Knuckles, that there is. So, I mean, Montgomery's been struggling lately. Jahmyr Gibbs is so damn good. It's crazy. I just wish he'd get the role by himself one time, and I'd put this guy at RB1 every single week. He's absolutely phenomenal, but he's stuck in a timeshare. That's the worst part for him, but the touchdown upside for these guys is always there. Heading into number 12, it is going to be DeAndre Swift. He's just been straight balling. He was one of my buy low candidates in week 3. If you were subbed to the channel, I hope you were. You could have made that move. He was one of my go get now. And look what's happened since week 3. 28, 21, 20, 22, 14. The man is now a top 20 running back, and he gets another great matchup with the New England Patriots, guys. The New England Patriots rank 27th versus the running back, giving up 26.2. They rank 30th in the red zone. That's third worst, giving up 8.9. 124.6 rush yards allowed. That's second worst in the NFL. And a touchdown of 1.1 a game. So DeAndre Swift is going to be another one of my smash plays this week. He's going to be on my smash play video. I'm done putting Caleb Williams on there. I don't know what's going on with the passing game, but DeAndre Swift is absolutely eating in the running back category this year. Number 13, James Cook. Now, this one is weird to me. So the eye test, and I love James Cook. I mean, been high on him for 2 years, and it's crazy that I'm going to say this right now. The eye test literally tells me that Ray Davis looks like a better running back, which is just crazy to say. I know that James Cook is still a good running back. You get a matchup versus the Colts. And if you've, been coming back to my channel before, this is your fantasy pot of gold. The Indianapolis Colts all the way around are like top 20 versus every single position. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. They can't stop anything, right? So they rank 18th versus the running back, giving up 22.9. They do rank 3rd in the red zone, which is crazy. They give up 2.5 there. They give up 121.8 rush yards, which is 3rd worst in the NFL. And they have a 0.6 chance for a touchdown a game. Now, Josh Allen could vulture some at the goal line, sure. But if Amari Cooper is back out there, it should open up a little more for the run game as well. They said he's day-to-day, so hopefully he's back out there. But I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Like, are we going to see, like, Ray Davis just straight up take this job? Because, God, he looks so good, man. And, like, if you have James Cook and you haven't traded for the handcuff of Ray Davis right now, you're crazy. That should be one of the moves you should be making. Running back 14. I'm done doubting this guy. Sorry, I needed a sip of water going straight through. James Conner. This man has just been on a mission, guys. So he had a very tough matchup versus the Bears D last week and still dropped 15 points, got 2 touchdowns taken from him at the 1-yard line, or DeMercado stole one, and then Trey Benson stole one at the goal line after he carried him all the way down. So I don't even care anymore. I'm not playing the matchup game with James Conner. He played the Chargers, a top run D as well 3 weeks ago, and dropped 17. This man is just good at football. I'm done doubting the matchups, and you're getting the New York Jets. The New York Jets is a top 10 defense all the way around. Versus the running back, the number 10, they give up 20.3. They're number 7 in the red zone, so about a top 8 defense all the way around. 104.3 yards allowed. They do give up big gash plays, so they are bottom 15 in yards allowed, but they allow a 0.7 chance for a touchdown a game. And the Cardinals are rolling. I know that Kyler Murray played bad, but James Conner in the running game picked it up last week, and the Jets can be beat in the run. So I know they got Reddick back, which will help them, or, last week. So he's getting his feet wet here coming into the second week in the NFL. But still, James Conner, man, this guy is just good, dude. Heading into number 15, Kareem Hunt just lit it up last night in the second half. He had 1.6 points at half. And I was like, what is going on here with Kareem Hunt? And all of a sudden he had 20 touches, takes the overtime, takes the fourth quarter. You know what it reminded me of? Reminded me of like the OG Derrick. I guess Derrick Henry's still doing it. Not really OG. But like when he gets going in the end of the game, everyone else is getting tired and he just gets stronger. And man, what a pickup for them in free agency. Kareem Hunt is absolutely balling. And now you get the Denver Broncos, right? So the Denver Broncos run D. And I think the Denver Broncos is one of the best defenses. But this is their weak spot, is the running back. They give up 23.6 points a game. That ranks 20th. They rank 12th in the red zone. It's about a top 15 run D all the way around. 88.6 yards allowed, which is bottom 10 or top 10 in that category. And a 0.6 chance for a touchdown here. Now you're going to have, hopefully they use Surtain right this week. They let Surtain, for some reason, not shadow Zay Flowers last week, which had me blown away. I had Zay Flowers on the sit-em and he destroyed me. But you're going to possibly have him on DeAndre Hopkins or Xavier Worthy. Their cornerbacks and safeties are all good. This should be a game where the Chiefs get ahead. You're at Arrowhead. Bo Nix is going to be in for a nightmare game. And the defense is going to be swarming him. And it should be another 20-touch Kareem Hunt game with a touchdown possibility. So I'm still going to keep him in the top 15, even though Denver is one of my favorite defenses. It's just volume is king. Number 16 is going to be Aaron Jones, and Sam Darnold-led 6-2 Minnesota Vikings are going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys. I mean, this is like the Indianapolis Colts to me. I say this in almost like all my videos. These two defenses across the board are the worst across the board. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 30th versus the run, giving up 28 points a game. 31st in the red zone, giving up 10.5, 91 yards on the ground, which is about middle of the tier, and a 0.9 chance for a touchdown. Aaron Jones should absolutely feast in this game. I'm only kind of worried about, we saw a lot of Cam Akers usage, and he didn't look bad. So maybe when they brought him in, they were thinking, against the easy games, like this should be an easy game for the Vikings to win, that they're going to probably split the usage up here a little bit, or hopefully the game script doesn't get bad and you see less Aaron Jones and they save him. That's one of the things I'm worried about. That's the only reason I have him ranked so low heading into this matchup, because the matchup is great. Running back number 17 is going to be Chase Brown. And I know the matchup is very, very tough. And I know the Ravens just traded for Tre'Davious White with the Rams as well. That helps their secondary. They're number 8 versus the running back. They give up 20 points a game. They're number 14 in the red zone, so about a top 12 defense all the way around. 58.4 yards allowed, which is second best in the NFL. So I don't expect Chase Brown to do a lot on the ground here. Maybe, 40, 50 yards in the game. But what I expect, and I know they signed Khalil Herbert. Don't panic, man. Khalil Herbert is not taking this job from Chase Brown. He's just a nice, very nice backup piece. So I expect the passing work to be massive here. So he saw 5 targets, 5 receptions last game, right? And that was with 32 touches. And the Bengals, this is a must-win game for not really a must-win game for the Bengals, but they'd like to get this win. And it's a 52.5 over in points. I want everybody from this game. So this is me reaching right here on Chase Brown because the matchup is very, very rough versus the Ravens. But still, there's me too many points flying in this game. He's the goal line back. And I don't want to hear anyone say Khalil Herbert is coming in to take this goal line job, because Chase Brown had the goal line job with Zach Moss, who's a better goal line back than Khalil Herbert, in my opinion, or was. So I'm still enamored with Chase Brown. I'm not buying into any of the Khalil Herbert stuff in his first game. Number 19, the matchup of all matchups right here, Tyrone Tracy. So I know it's going to be in Munich, Germany. I don't know what the hell they're doing, sending the 2 worst teams in the NFL to Munich, but I guess that's what they wanted to do. And does it get any better than this? The Carolina Panthers rank 32nd in the red zone, 32nd in points to the running back position, 31 points a game, and 132.9 yards, which is dead last, and a touchdown at 1.4, which is dead last, and the only one close to that is 1.2, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Tyrone Tracy, fire him up as he'll be on my Smash Play video. I'm going to have him starting every single where I possibly can. He's taking the job from Devin Singletary. Looks way better. He was also one of my sleeper of the years from the beginning of the year that I was very, very high on. So I'm glad to see him get his opportunity and shine with it. Heading into number 20 here, J.K. Dobbins. So the Chargers, J.K. Dobbins has probably been the steal of fantasy football drafts so far. He's been absolutely phenomenal. I was very worried about, the Achilles and all the injuries he's had. But you get the Tennessee Titans this week. They ranked 19th, giving up 23.1 points per game. They ranked 26th in the red zone, so the touchdown upside is very high. They only give up 76.6 yards, which is, top 5 in the NFL yardage-wise. But when you're looking at those numbers, I mean, when I'm thinking about it in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's a great defense. They've been holding this fort down because their offense can't move the ball for anything. And now the Titans are going to play one of the top defenses. J.K. Dobbins is going to see 20-plus touches in this game. I mean, even if Gus gets activated off IR or whatever's going on with him, I don't think that's going to matter. J.K. Dobbins has looked so good. This job is his. It's just a tougher matchup, but I still like him at a top 20 running back this week. Number 21, Najee the Bruiser Harris. So it's time. This is the Steeler. This is the cold weather. This is the Najee Harris big boy run the ball football time here. So you get the Washington Commanders. I know they just signed just traded for Lattimore, which helps them in the secondary as well. And since the Commanders have gone to a single high defense in week 3, like I said in my previous videos, they become a good defense. They were one of the bottom of the barrel defenses all the way through like the first 3 weeks. And man, what a coaching job they have done. So now they're number 12 versus the running back. They gave up 21.2. They're 17th in the red zone. So about a top 14 defense all the way around. 115 yards allowed, which is still bottom 6 to 7. But that's because at the beginning of the year, they were just getting gashed and gashed and gashed. And they gave up 0.9 chance for a touchdown here. And Steelers adding Mike Williams will help out on the side. George Pickens, that'll help the run game as well. Maybe open up a little bit. And I even kind of like Jaylen Warren as like a sneak play here. I have him down here at the bottom at running back 33. I mean, it's a great handcuff to have as well, too, behind Najee. But Najee has just been rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, man. It's 3 straight games, averaging 20, 16, 16, probably averaging 17.5 points per game. Russell Wilson looks in command of this offense. And the Steelers are going to be something to really, really start to think that they're a contender here, man, with the defense that they have that gets them the ball back all the time. So they're just going to get more opportunities and more opportunities. Heading into the Dolphins, I talked about the Dolphins already with the Rams. So I have Raheem Mostert as my running back 22. Brian Robinson Jr. is going to come in at running back 23. And we're also going to pop up Austin Eckler here. So the Commanders now, I know Brian Robinson almost made the game last week. And, he was game time decision before the kickoff. Probably cost people weeks that he was out versus New York Giants. But they get the Pittsburgh Steelers. No one wants to run against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if they're playing anybody else, sorry, I get the hiccups mid-video, I would put Brian Robinson and Eckler higher, but this is a very good run D. They're number 11 versus the running back, 20.8 points. They're number 4 in the red zone, so about a top 6 defense all the way around, 104.3 yards allowed, which is middle of the pack there. And they only allow a 0.7 touchdown rushing per game. And now things are clicking. So when you're looking at those numbers, those are like pre-Russell Wilson numbers too. This defense is now getting more breath. They're getting, they're not as tired. Because even though I like Justin Fields, he did go 3 and out a lot. So it's helping the defense a lot, getting them the ball more, getting them, coming out healthy when they can, not healthy, but not tired when they come out. So it's going to be a totally different off a bye here, man. Oh, man, they're coming for the Commanders here this week. Man, number 24 is Tony Pollard, and he's absolutely balling. I mean, you may get Tyjae Spears back out there this week as well, but they get the Chargers. This is the number 2 run D. They only allow 16.8 points. They're number 1 in the red zone, allowing 1.5, 0.1 chance for a touchdown. So in 10 games, they've allowed 1 rushing touchdown. That's absolutely crazy to me. I mean, this defense is so good. Tony Pollard, I just don't like the matchup here, and their offense has been just terrible. It really, really sucks for Tony Pollard because he was healthy and he looks really good this year compared to last year when he was hurt. And another tier 4 here is going to be Rondre Stevenson with the touchdown at the end of the game in the passing game. Now look at this. This was just bonkers to me. So Rondre Stevenson's usage, guys, was not what you thought. And he still absolutely destroyed the game because he caught the touchdown at the end. but he had 22.4 fantasy points. He had 10 carries for 16 yards, 1.6 yards per carry against the Titans. That's why I'm saying to watch out for that Titans defense with J.K. Dobbins. But now you get Chicago. It doesn't get any better for Rondre Stevenson this week. Chicago is probably going to get Brisker. They're probably going to get Gordon back, which is 2 stars that I've been saying for a couple of weeks now that they're going to get back. And this defense is going to become a top defense real quick. And look how they are versus the running back. Chicago Bears, they rank 21st, giving up 23.6, but they rank 8th in the red zone. So about a top, say 13, 14 defense all the way around. 110 yards allowed. But they've also been missing their stars. And they're still holding a top 20 without a lot of their defensive pieces. And if they get back here healthy, to me, they're like a top 6 to 7 run D here. And they allow 1 touchdown a game. So if the game script and Caleb Williams and the Bears show up, it could be really ugly and a lot of pass work for Rhamondre. But if the Bears don't show up, Rhamondre could have a decent day. It's a very tough matchup. I just don't like it. Side by side, Rashad White and Bucky Irving are going to get the San Francisco 49ers coming off a bye. Getting healthy is going to be ugly, just like it was last night versus the Chiefs. I mean, Baker Mayfield's out there giving it all he has with no Mike Evans, no Godwins. It's very tough out there. So the Niners rank 13th versus the running back, getting up 21.8. They rank 25th. So the red zone, if they can get down to the red zone, Niners do struggle versus the running back in the red zone. They could find, possibly a touchdown there. They give up a chance of 0.9 per game, but they only give up 78.6 yards, which is top 10 in the NFL there as well. So you're going to have them flying off the ball healthy, and if CMC's back out there, the whole team is just going to be absolutely lit, and I don't want to start either one of these running backs this week. Woo, we're flying through it here. Running back number 28 is going to be Rico Gathers, and he takes a massive hit, man. It really, really sucks. I know he just had his big game where he fell down on the ground and caught the touchdown in the end zone off a deflection. That was good to see. But now you have a situation that's just shot. You have Dak Prescott, who's probably headed to IR here. You got CeeDee Lamb banged up. Cowboys season is probably over. Yeah, does it help his volume? Yeah, but how good is the volume going to be, right? That's the question we're kind of looking at here. And they get the Philadelphia Eagles, who are number 3 versus the running back. They give up 16.8 points. They're number 2 in the red zone, giving up 2.5. They only allow 77 yards on the ground, which is top 5 as well, and a 0.3 chance for a touchdown. Stay away from this Eagles front 7, man. They are nasty. And when you have, Cooper Rush at your quarterback, yikes. So coming in behind him, 29. There was a lot of trade rumors behind Etienne. I don't know if anything happened yet. I haven't checked my phone. Actually, while we're mid-combo here talking about it, I'll peep it right now and see if anything happened with Etienne. But him and Bigsby this week are in for just very tough matchups, guys. I mean, absolutely not good. So I just read it right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars, despite receiving calls, they're going to hold on to Travis Etienne. So probably a split backfield here. You're probably going to see Tank Bigsby and him for the rest of the way. Their season's pretty much over. You get the Minnesota Vikings. This is a very good front 7. It's going to blitz like maniacs. They're the number 1 blitzing defense in the NFL. They're going to get after Trevor Lawrence. They're going to blow up that line. They traded away Cam Robinson. So their offensive line got even worse. So they rank 7th versus the running back, giving up 19.3, 10th in the red zone. So a top 8 defense all the way around. 73.8 yards allowed. That's top 10 as well. And a 0.4 chance for a touchdown. I don't like any of these Jags in this game. Just like I didn't like Jonathan Taylor. I even said it last week, man. I was like, God, I love JT. This matchup is so tough versus the Vikings, man. Whew, we're flying through it here. So heading down right after him, Chuba Hubbard. Now, I know the matchup is decent, right? You get the New York Giants. So they're about middle of the pack. They're 22.7 points per game of the running back position. They rank 9th in the red zone. So about a top 10 to 11 D all the way around. 112.3 yards, which is bottom 10. So it can happen. But their front 7 is so good in the red zone. They give up a 0.4 chance for a touchdown. And now, Jonathan Brooks may be making his debut. So I don't know what the Panthers were doing or why they didn't try and trade Chuba Hubbard or Miles Sanders or something to gain pieces for the future. It just doesn't make sense to me why they would trade up for Jonathan Brooks. I know Chuba's look good. He's absolutely balled out. But it was time to move him. And now you're probably going to be in a timeshare heading forward with a team that is dead in the water. So if you didn't sell high on Chuba, like I said 2-3 weeks ago, you're probably stuck with a running back you don't even want to start anymore. So that's the worst part. And I mean, it's Bryce Young. I know he got the win, and I'm happy for him. It looks better, but the Panthers' offense is gonna be rough, man. Tier 5 coming in at number 30, Javante Williams. It's not gonna look good from here on out for Javante Williams. I was never high on this guy. I own 0%. I own no best ball in 300 drafts. I never liked anything about the comeback, and you get the Kansas City Chiefs defense, number 1. 14.6 points allowed. Number 5 in the red zone, 50.9 yards. Number 1 run D, 0.4 chance for a touchdown. No, thank you. And the updates have been that Audric Estime is going to be more involved now, which he should have been a long time ago. I know he got hurt, early in the season. But Javante Williams just isn't that guy to me. I'm not saying I'm some pro scout, but I've watched enough football and I watched enough running backs to be like, this is why you stay away from this guy. Oh, thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is the end of my running backs rankings for week 10, top 34. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you smash that subscription, turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton, guys, more than you know. And if you guys cannot make any of the live streams, again, make sure you drop any comments you want down below. I try to answer every single one of them. It does not have to pertain to this video. It could be trades, starts, whatever you want. I'm here to help you win your weekly matchups and get you that ultimate goal of a championship, guys. And now, if you want to see my defense kickers, those are out. Quarterbacks are out. And I'll try to get all the rest out tonight to you guys. And that's it for me, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. SleezBall out.